I practically grew up in a wok.
We worked all hours in my parents' Chinese restaurant.
Oh, delicious.
Over the years, I have mastered the art of how to cook the food I grew up on and the food that I love.
No words.
And now I want to share my favourite Southeast Asian recipes with you.
No fuss.
Maximum flavour. These dishes are delicious and oh so simple to cook at home.
Dead easy.
Lazy weekend lunches are my treasured ritual. It's the perfect time to gather family and friends and cook up a culinary storm. Like my take on a Japanese classic, it's the ideal light Saturday lunch. And an indulgent pudding for when you want to give them something sweet. First, an absolute Sunday classic. Roast chicken with all the trimmings, but Gok style.
My need to feed people is beyond my love of eating. And that comes from working in the restaurant for so many years. For me, the weekend, and Sundays in particular, are really important food days because I get all of my mates over and what I want to do is I want to create a beautiful feast. But the one thing I don't want to do is spend all my time cooking. And so I've developed over my life loads of really quick, beautiful Sunday dinner alternatives.
It doesn't get more traditional than a roast chicken, and my version takes us east. It's bursting with Asian flavours and offers up some handy tips and twists along the way.
First of all, sort our bird out, and we are going to put in an entire onion into the cavity. There are very, very few dishes in my life that I think I genuinely cook better than my family, including my brother, who's an incredible chef, but my dad in particular. And this, for me, is something that I would cook for him and feel super proud knowing that I can do it better than him.
Stuffing the chicken helps infuse flavour from inside the bird. As well as an onion, I'm using ginger for fragrance and flavour, spring onions and half a bulb of garlic.
Isn't that beautiful? I always think, actually, that was one of the most incredible natural designs. Garlic, when you slice it through, it's so beautiful. Right, OK, so now our string, and we are just going to toss our chicken up.
Don't worry about your tying skills, it's just to keep the stuffing in place.
All this flavour is going to sit inside our lovely bird, and that is going to cook for an hour and 45 minutes, and it's going to release its flavour, and actually the inside of the bird is going to be just as tasty as the flesh.
What will make this roast special is the rub I'm going to cover it in.
It's all full of Asian flavours. We've got our dark soy, about 2 tablespoons. We have got our light soy, about 1 tablespoon. Garlic and ginger. Lovely.
Now 2 teaspoons of Chinese 5-spice.
I'm going to put some white pepper in, a good sprinkling of that. Honey, which is going to give us that beautiful crispy glaze. Then we're going to use some vegetable oil, of course, because it's a roast. So about 1 tablespoon. I'm now going to whisk all of this up and release all those flavours. Already, our traditional roast dinner is getting all of this Asian, Oriental, Eastern spice through it.
Get the rub all over the chicken and don't forget the wings.
If it starts to go a little bit crispy because of the honey, then it's fine, just put some foil on top.
I'll cook this for an hour and 45, but check the weight of the bird first. Oven should be 180 fan.
Right then, spuds to go with our roast chicken. You can't have a roast dinner without spuds, can you? They're literally everyone's favourite. Ha-ha!
My roasties are a little different. Cut them into small cubes and parboil for 4 minutes. Later, I'm going to wok fry them.
So while our potatoes are now boiling away, I'm just going to prepare all of the fry ingredients for the potatoes.
Finely chop some garlic, ginger and chilli.
There we go. Now, potatoes are going to come off. Really important now. You have got to cover them in cold water. You don't want them to cook any longer. Whew, hot. Little tip from my dad. I'm going to salt them. Because if you salt your potatoes, it brings even more moisture out. And if you get the moisture out, then you get a really crispy spud.
Whilst the potatoes cool down, it's time to make a Wan family classic, a Szechuan dust.
Chinese 5-spice, about a teaspoon into a pestle and mortar. Szechuan peppercorns. Now, these are powerful, so you only need a few. I'll probably put about 10 in there. Chili flakes, put about half a teaspoon in. Garlic and onion salt, about half a teaspoon. And then I'm gonna add in some white pepper, okay? And I'm now gonna grind it and give it a really good moment there. Oh. That's good. Okay, so now what we're left with is the most incredible flavour. And we're just gonna literally sprinkle it on our potatoes, and that is gonna be delicious.
Time to check on my chicken. A little bit of basting keeps everything juicy. Once the potatoes have cooled, they're ready to fry in a hot wok with a couple of tablespoons of rice bran oil.
Now you're just gonna coat all of them. I'm not gonna be too aggressive with these because I don't want them to lose their shape.
They'll take 10 minutes or so to crisp up, much quicker than using an oven.
Who doesn't love fried potatoes? Huh? Look at that. Now. Look, it's that one. That one is the beauty. And look at that underneath now. Can you see all of that gorgeous, beautiful residue? We're gonna go straight in with our ginger, our garlic, and our chili. Spring onions in. Keep it moving. Don't let her stop. Look at that crispiness now. It's all getting soaked up. The potatoes are all pretty much the same colour, all on the outside. Okay, your dust is gonna go in. That's gonna take any excess moisture from that oil, and we're gonna scald the potatoes with some water. What this does is it creates a steam, and it gets all of that gorgeousness to release its flavour. We're done. Our roasties are done for our feast. So there you go, perfect alternative roast potatoes to go with our perfect alternative chicken. Look at her. Oh, wow.
The honey 5-spice rub has given it that glorious blackened glaze.
Oh, I love you.
It's all coming together. Just the black bean gravy to make, and those sticky, meaty pan juices are the perfect point to start.
And all of this is the base to our story today.
Black beans are a fermented soya bean. You can buy them ready to use in tins, but the dried salty ones need to be soaked in water for half an hour first.
I've probably made black bean about over 10,000 times in my life. But they're kind of bitter, but there's also a natural sweetness, but not like a sugar sweetness you get, the kind of sweetness you get from a vegetable. Okay, so now, in with our flavours. Load of garlic. Big heroes, 10 cloves there. Ginger. And our chilli. And don't forget, this gravy is going to be the synergy, the link, the common ground, our black beans. are going in now. You've got to fry these out slightly because they're bitter and you need to release the flavour. These black beans were fermented a long time ago. They've been asleep and we want to wake them up. Oh, that smell is just incredible. Oyster sauce, table and a half. And then some liquid. And then our gorgeous juices from that chicken. Literally blows my mind.
And that's it. My 5-spice blackened roast chicken with Szechuan dust potatoes. I've also made broccoli and oyster sauce and orange roasted carrots to go with them. A perfect Sunday lunch.
You can take as many beautiful shots of the food as you like, but nothing's as good as eating it.
The weekends are a time to indulge. Sometimes you want something light and easy so you can spend the rest of the day doing nothing at all.
This dish I absolutely love, which is a take on a Japanese hand roll, which is basically a snack that they have all over Japan and in fact all over the world now.
I'm starting by making the sushi rice.
This is pre-cooked, and the difference between a sushi rice with a long grain or a basmati, it's much smaller and it's much fatter.
The secret to sushi rice is how it's seasoned. Just 2 ingredients.
It's either mirin, which is a very sweet syrup, or you can substitute that with a normal sugar, which is what I'm going to do. And then a rice wine vinegar. It's very important to use the rice wine vinegar because it's far lighter than any other vinegar and you don't want it to be overpowering. Now, the measurements are to taste. So I'm going to do my taste, which is I prefer it slightly more sour to sweet. So I'm going to go for about a tablespoon of the sushi rice vinegar. And then we're going to add in a teaspoon. I'm just going to mix this through and just let the sugar dissolve. Yeah, good. Sweet and vinegary rice. What's not to love?
I'm going to shape this dish using a mould. It's quick and easy, just like the filling that will go inside it.
And I'm just going to chop that into quarters. And that's going into our blender. Then we are going to throw in the juice of 1 lime, but none of the zest, because we don't want it to be overpowering.
Add 1/3 of a chilli, a teaspoon of jar ginger, and 2 each of fish sauce and sesame oil.
You don't want it to be overpowering. This is a light lunch, remember? Okay, I am now going to blitz with wasabi, which is basically a Japanese horseradish. About 1/3 of a teaspoon. A chunk of coriander. Let me have a little check. That was all that was needed. That was just 4 little bursts, and that's enough. You still want some chunks of onion in your rice. You want to be able to taste it all.
Not quite finished yet. Peas will work so well with the wasabi and mackerel. You don't even need to cook them. Just throw them in frozen.
Use about 100 grams. And you're going to blitz this, but only for a short time because you don't want it to go too mushy. And that's kind of our mixture. Delicious. We are going to add in now some black sesame seeds. This is for a little bit of crunch, but also for some colour. Papa Wan always says to me, "You have to eat with your eyes, not just your tummy." And he's so right. Because as soon as you see food, you have to be tempted by it, don't you? And this dish is so pretty. Okay, so that's our mixture done. Flaked smoked mackerel. That's your protein in this dish. Your sushi rice and your lovely wasabi pea mixture. We're going to put in, first of all, some sushi rice, probably about a tablespoon. Okay, and we're just gonna pat that down. Then we're gonna go with our smoked mackerel. And we're just gonna flake that in. Then we're gonna go in with some of our wasabi pea mixture. Some coriander, so delicious. And then we're gonna top with more sushi rice, pat it all down. Make sure it's nice and solid. And it's as easy as that. And you can make loads of these and leave them in the fridge.
I like to make 3 per person, but that's up to you.
Dead easy. The tricky bit is getting them over. So we are gonna flip and let's see what happens. Ah, hello. Right, there we go.
Just a final touch of black sesame seeds and chopped dried seaweed, and these are dressed for the occasion.
Oh, you look gorgeous. I'm just wondering whether I can get an entire one in my mouth and eat a lot.
My mackerel, frozen pea and wasabi half moons. Just what you want for a light weekend lunch. My final dish is any dessert lover's dream. Rice pudding with the heady flavours of vanilla, cardamom and macadamia nuts. Ideal to finish off any Sunday lunch or just eaten on its own.
I've asked my dad on numerous occasions, why do Asian people, us Asians, not really live in the world of like very fine desserts like you would get in Paris? And his explanation is, in the village, desserts would be just for a treat. But I have developed a dessert because I cook a lot for my friends, but I've given it a nice little Asian twist. So this is really both of my heritages. East meets West in one boiling pot of sugary, beautiful, ricey goodness. And what I love about this dish is it is so easy to make.
Start by heating 1.5 litres of full-fat milk.
The key to this is it's slowly catch a monkey. If you boil this all the way through, it's just gonna lose its flavour, and actually, when the milk burns as well, you aren't gonna get the same consistency.
In go the vanilla seeds scraped from the pod. Throw in the husk too, it helps intensify the flavour.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. So let's put this on.
Next, lightly crush 10 cardamom pods to open them up and release their essence. Add them in and simmer it all for 30 minutes.
Okay, so this is infusing lovely. All those flavours from the vanilla pods and the cardamom are now inside that milk, which is going to be obviously very creamy and gorgeous. Now, tiny bit of butter into a pan. And in just a moment, when that's melted, we're going to add our rice. Honestly, who doesn't love rice?
Use 150 grams of short grain dessert rice, making sure each grain is coated in the butter so they will puff up when cooked.
Look at this. Hardly any mess at all. So it means at the end of your meal, you can whack this up, you'll chat. Who wants another drink? Yeah, I'll have a drink with you. You don't miss any of the gossip. And for me, food is important, but so is gossip.
Once the rice has absorbed all the butter, add in 65 grams of caster sugar.
Right, okay, all coated with the butter and sugar now. Little sieve, not a little one, huge one, on guard. I'm gonna put that over there and I'm gonna get my milky, vanilla-y, cardamom-y, that's a good word, mixture, and I'm going to sieve it into our rice and sugar. Woohoo! Kung e fa choi, Happy New Year. Isn't that exciting? Now, heat back up on a low simmer, 35 minutes. That's all it takes on top of the hob. You haven't got to cover it. There's no watching and making sure it's all right in the oven. This is my super easy rice pudding. Perfect for the weekend. She's ready. beautifully silky. That rice is puffed up, the milk is completely reduced down. All we've got to do now is pop it into some beautiful ramekins.
Top them with crushed macadamia nuts and a sprinkle of sugar.
We want to keep it still quite rustic. Lovely and thoughtful, this process, but there's no rushing. Isn't that amazing? I rush all my life. And this is so nice just to be able to sit and sprinkle sugar on 4 pots that look exactly the same. My God, this is like retirement. Way too early. It's lovely.
If you don't have a chef's blowtorch, no problem. A couple of minutes under the grill will work perfectly.
And that's all I want to do. Just give it a slight bit of colour. And that, I think, is the perfect finish to a whole weekend of feasting on delicious, easy, different, personalised food. Have a great weekend.
And that's 3 dishes to make any weekend complete. A traditional roast chicken that's anything but. Half-moon mackerel and wasabi rice balls, so easy. And a fragrant rice pudding that marries east and west.
This is what you need on the weekend. And I'm going to take this to the sofa now.